What's up guys, welcome back for another Yugioh Pro Duel video. New Infinite Ignition cards have been revealed, well they were revealed yesterday. So let's try them out. It's quite of an interesting archetype, but they're of course expecting more cards, so it's quite iffy to look for like a standalone deck with only the ignition cards. That's definitely not possible, but other hybrids, like for example here in this list, trains, of course, any machine-based archetype. Other options like gadgets, ancient gears come to mind, but for now, with the current support, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I'm looking at their Link monsters. Also there, is it Link 3 or Link 4? I think it's a Link 3. Oh, yeah, it's a Link monster that needs 3 Exceed monsters on the field, so it's quite awkward, quite of a heavy investment. It's not in here, but you know, might in the past, or at least in the future, with more support, that might make sense. Also looked at Zodiacs, of course, with Laika, and you know, that just facilitates having more Exceeds on the field, just being fodder for the Ignition Link. But for now here, we went with trains, and I'm playing the level 4 Ignition, since the card is fantastic. It's a very, very solid card. I mean, with any other machine type monster, at least upon normal summon or special summon, you can special summon a machine monster from your hand, and then again, no level restriction. Its second effect though is that you can target another machine on the field and then both their levels, so equal like the combination of their original level. So again, very similar to Pegasus here for trains. But yeah, super solid card. It just makes, let's say you special summon a gadget, and then that's basically a generic rank 8 Exceed. Or let's say you have like a Cyber Dragon or one of the in-themed level 5 machine mons, which is also definitely good, but not here for this particular deck. You can make like any generic rank 9 Link monster, rank 9 Exceed. And of course, the archetype Ignition do have their own rank 9 Exceed, which is good, but I think in most situations, especially going for your calamities might be better. But again, their rank 9 Exceed, like Pops cards, depending on how many cards you detach, again, superb card. But for now, with the current support, it's definitely not in this deck. You're focusing on, of course, rank 10. The new Link 1 is also here in this deck, since the fact, or at least the ability of this new Ignition level 4, is that it can be special summoned off of your field spell, off of your switch yard, and you know, you can special summon something from your hand, so basically extending your plays. It's most of it, well, there are like 50-50, depends on your hand, of course. It's not always the best play to go for your Ignition level 4 off of your field spell, depends, but it's basically extending your plays, and very important, giving you the Link 1 monster with the marker pointing down right. Yeah, the place where Dora is now, and the beautiful part is that if that Link 1 Ignition card is sent from your field to the graveyard, and that includes being destroyed by battle or by a card effect or used by a Link summon, you can attach that Link monster to any Exceed monster on your side of the field. And beautiful part here, if that Link 1 Ignition monster is equipped or attached to an Exceed monster, then that Exceed monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. Very, very solid. It's not too fantastic for Dora, since again Dora does have the ability to make itself unaffected by, but okay, it's cool. But let's keep in mind that you can overlay your Dora for Juggernaut, and that means that if you're overlaying your Dora for Juggernaut, your Juggernaut cannot be destroyed by card effects, and that's huge since its attack stat is 4k. Again, quite nifty. So I think especially this new level 4 and Link 1 definitely have a place in trains, extending your plays, having follow-up plays. It's very, very solid. Again, going first, using the field spell, of course, and I have to make sure that I have the mutual, you know, interaction of both the, what is it called, the level 4 train here in the face up in the graveyard, and the level 10 train in my hand, also one of the newer trains. You definitely want to go for those, since they maintain your advantage, right? Especially for your Anger, your Knuckle, your new Link monster for trains. The beautiful part is that you can use it during your opponent's turn, and that just equals pluses if you control your field spell. Again, just tribute your Knuckle, for example, and then special summon a level 10 train from your graveyard, trigger the field spell, get more special summons or more searches. That's superb. But again, yeah, trains still have a lot of weaknesses, consistency, for example, and the fact that the field spell is somewhat still important is still a big weakness. Mrs. Radiant was important of giving, Juggernaut the extra attack boost needed to deal the necessary damage to attack for game. Next tool, this was a good one, definitely a very solid one. Going second, I mean, you can go first, you can go second. Going second, I guess, might be preferred because of the triple Shaddoll fusion, triple schedule. I definitely like the Shaddoll engine, very very solid. It gives you a big beat stick on the field, gives you extra pluses, can send Glow Up Bulb to the graveyard, going for Naturia Beast for example, so a fantastic engine. Anyway, yeah, that's definitely a solid field. I mean, he knows because of the trains putting everything in defense position, and for me it's hard to get over that particular field. I do have a couple of options, let's say Clifford Genius, negating the monster effects, but outside of that it's quite hard to get rid of the Dark Colossus, right? Something new that I added in trains compared to my previous builds is more floodgates. I definitely like cards like Rivalry, Skill Drain of course, and Gozen Match in the main deck, because this deck is somewhat slow and you need to control the pace of the game a little more thanks to your floodgates. And another floodgate that I might add in the main deck is Summon Limits, also quite good in today's format, just slowing down the pace of the game, right? I do play Double Genius. Genius lets you, negate like your continuous trap, for example, your floodgate, and well, you can just bypass your own floodgates like that. But in this case, Clifford Genius definitely helps out of negating the Colossus, and eventually I'll be able to attack for game, right? So Genius negating or try to negate Gozen Match, Dora will just kind of protect Clifford Genius, but again, just basically some extra damage on board, and again, making sure that I have Knuckle on my side of the field during my opponent's turn, so I can, well, just use Attribute itself, for example, and, with the field spell, that's so good. 3 pluses everywhere. If you're able to keep the field spell on the field with a Knuckle tribute, like a Lone Fire-ish tribute, this is superb. And again, make sure you have the small interaction of, well, especially the level 10, get something back during the end phase, and if possible the level 4. But here in this case, the Colossus preventing searches from the deck, but that's the thing you definitely want to go for. That small card interaction, level 10 to level 4, getting back your resources from the grave. A huge first turn again, very staple, I guess, as a first turn play. Going for the Knuckle again, basically the play I just said, right? Knuckle during your opponent's turn with Switch Yard on the field is very strong. Infernities, this is something that I definitely want to try out as well, like Danger Infernity. It's quite, I mean, it's a hard deck to play, and I believe he misplays as well, since he will get lucky with a couple of draws, as you will see in a couple of moments, but I think he was one step short of ending with like quite of a good field backed up with triple barrier, and with good field I mean having like an Archfiend in attack position. Again, an Infernity in attack position to make his barriers live, right? So, okay, it gets some nice... Here, I think if the Necromancer was at one of the extra monster zones where Summon Sorceress would have pointed towards to, he definitely would have had a couple of extra follow-up plays to maybe make his, his triple barrier live, since this is super scary, right? But, again, barriers are not live, and only the Infernity break, I think the Raigeki break is live, but that's not a threat, right? So again, 2 monsters on the field, getting those extra searches, that's the deck. Basically make sure you have those extra or your end phase searches, and then you'll be having enough plays during your own turn. Shaddoll Fusion, yeah, this is game, right? So going for Heavy Train, Gustav Max dealing some extra damage, getting, at least, yeah, indeed, I got rid of the Infernity break, so force out the Boral Sword Dragon with Clifford Genius, and then I can just freely overlay for Juggernaut, and Juggernaut will go for the OTK, right? That's how it goes with trains. So another example, going second this time. My opening hand is fantastic, especially going second. The rivalry is definitely solid if your opponent has like multiple floodgate-alike monsters on the field with different types. Then your rivalry can be important, but cards like Shaddoll Fusion, I like Shaddoll Fusion. Some people always say, man, you should drop the Shaddoll Fusion, but no, guys, it's very, very solid, very good card, even though you're kind of forced to run like the 2 brick cards, Shaddoll Beast and Shaddoll Dragon. But I think it's definitely worth it. Anyway, Ash Blossom and the Infernity barrier for Salamangreats do, somewhat stall out, but indeed he does have 2 attack position monsters, and I mean, against trains, you can't do that, right? You're just opening up yourself for like a huge OTK by Juggernaut, and that's strange, right? But these new ignition cards, the level 4 and the Link one, definitely have a place in trains. Super solid, and depending on more support, they maybe get like a rank up card. Very interesting to see that. But other than that, it feels kind of awkward for now with the other ignition cards, but it seems very promising depending again on the future support. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.